You have been lied to your entire life. They told you that if you were good, if you were kind, if you forgave people, if you turned the other cheek, life would somehow reward you. They told you that goodness was strength, that kindness would win you loyalty, that being the bigger person would bring you peace. And maybe, for a while, you believed them. You tried to be the good friend, the forgiving partner, the loyal worker, the one who sacrificed, the one who played fair even when no one else did. And what did you get for it? Respect? No. Gratitude? No. You got disappointment. You got betrayal. You got used. And deep down, if you're honest, you know it. Because the truth that no one wants to admit is that being good is the fastest way to make yourself vulnerable. The quickest way to become the person everyone takes advantage of. The perfect prey for those who are hungrier, smarter, and far less good than you are. And Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. He saw what you were only just beginning to understand. Goodness, when it's naive, when it's constant, when it's predictable, is not a shield. It's a target painted on your back. Think about your own life for a second. Think about the last time you tried to do the right thing when every part of you wanted to do something else. You forgave someone who betrayed you. You gave someone another chance when you knew they didn't deserve it. You told the truth when lying would have protected you. And what happened? Did the world reward you? Did the person thank you? Or did they just quietly learn that they could do it again? Did they respect your forgiveness? Or did they take it as permission to hurt you a little more? This is the trap almost everyone falls into. At first, being good feels noble. People smile at you. They admire you. They praise your character. And for a moment you feel powerful. You think you've unlocked some higher path that others can't see. But slowly, almost invisibly, the praise becomes expectation. The kindness you once gave as a gift becomes something they believe they are owed. The forgiveness you once offered as an exception becomes something they demand as a right. And before you realize it, you're not respected for your goodness, you're trapped by it. You can't stop giving, you can't stop forgiving, because the moment you do, they turn on you. They call you selfish, they call you cold, they say you've changed. But what's really happened is that your mask of goodness has slipped, and they can no longer exploit it. Machiavelli warned that this is not just a personal problem, it's a law of power. History is littered with the corpses of rulers, leaders, and visionaries who thought their goodness would save them. Julius Caesar pardoned his enemies in Rome, thinking forgiveness would bring peace. They repaid him by stabbing him to death. Richard II of England forgave the nobles who rebelled against him, hoping mercy would earn loyalty. They deposed him and forced him to abdicate. These men weren't weak because they lacked armies. They were weak because they thought mercy was enough. They thought the people they spared would feel gratitude. Instead, those people felt opportunity. Goodness without power does not inspire devotion, it invites betrayal. The moment people sense that you will not punish them, that you will not strike back, they stop fearing you. And when fear is gone, respect soon follows. A merciful ruler who never punishes becomes a joke. A generous leader who never withholds becomes resented for not giving more. The honest man who bears his soul becomes the fool who made himself easy to attack. This is the brutal truth. The good are not defeated by evil. They are defeated by the weight of their own virtue. You've seen this in your own life, even if you've never put words to it. The employee who never says no at work quickly becomes the dumping ground for everyone else's responsibilities. The friend who is always the one paying, always the one saying yes, eventually learns that the moment they stop, they stop mattering. The partner who forgives endlessly doesn't inspire devotion, they invite betrayal, because there are no consequences. And once there are no consequences, people will test you again and again until they find the breaking point. You are not respected for being endlessly good. You are respected for the possibility that you could choose not to be. This is why Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than love, because fear endures when love evaporates. Love is fragile. Love is conditional. People love you when you serve their interests, when you give them what they want, when you make them feel good. The moment you can't, that love turns to resentment. But fear makes them think twice before crossing you, even when they don't feel affection. Fear is survival. And the world respects survival far more than it respects goodness. But let's go even deeper. Goodness is seductive because it feels powerful. When you give, when you forgive, when you sacrifice, you feel like you're in control. You feel like you're above the petty games everyone else is playing. But Machiavelli forces us to ask a darker question. Are you actually in control? Are you just feeding other people's appetites until there's nothing left of you? Generosity is one of the most dangerous traps there is. When you give once, people are grateful. When you give twice, they are pleased. By the third or fourth time, they stop seeing it as generosity at all. They start to expect it. And when expectation sets in, gratitude dies. Now it's no longer thank you. It's why didn't you give me more? What was once a gift becomes a duty, and when you fail to deliver, they resent you for it. This is why so many generous leaders throughout history were adored while they gave and despised when they stopped. The crowd that once cheered them became the mob that demanded their heads. They weren't hated because they gave, they were hated because they couldn't keep giving forever. And no one can feed an endless appetite. So what is the answer? Do you stop being good entirely? Do you harden your heart, turn cruel, become ruthless? No, that's not what Machiavelli is saying. His warning isn't to abandon goodness, but to use it with precision. Wear it like a mask, not like a chain. Show mercy when it serves you. Show generosity when it buys loyalty that lasts longer than the gift itself. Show honesty when it builds trust, not when it exposes you. Goodness must be a tool, not an obligation, because the moment you mistake the mask for reality, you are finished. The mask is what keeps people calm, what keeps them believing you are the benevolent ruler, the noble leader, the good friend. But behind the mask, you must always be watching, calculating, ready to strike when necessary. If you are not willing to do that, then your goodness will destroy you. Because the world is not kind. The world is not fair. The world is full of people who will smile at you while taking everything they can. And they will never stop, not because they are evil, but because human nature pushes us all to take what is available. If you offer endless forgiveness, people will keep testing it. If you offer endless generosity, people will keep taking. If you offer endless honesty, people will use your words against you. And if you think you can survive in this world just by being good, you will learn the hard way that the world does not reward those who are good in all things. It rewards those who know when to be good and when to be ruthless. And maybe you've already felt that moment of bitterness. That moment when you realized you were the only one playing fair while everyone else was playing for keeps. Maybe you felt the sting of being too forgiving. Maybe you've given second chances, third chances, 10th chances, until you've realized you were the only one still holding the relationship together. Maybe you've told the truth to someone you trusted, only to watch them twist your words and use them against you. Maybe you've sacrificed for someone who didn't even notice, who just assumed you would keep giving. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to feel something darker rising in you, the sense that you can't keep living this way, that you can't keep being the good one while everyone else sharpens their knives. And that's the moment where real power begins. Because once you see the trap, you can escape it. Once you understand that being endlessly good is not virtue but suicide, you can start to choose your goodness instead of being consumed by it. You know what's really terrifying? The moment you finally stop being the good person everyone thinks you are. Because that's when the world reveals its true face. People who smiled at you yesterday will start whispering behind your back. Friends you carried on your shoulders will suddenly turn on you. Family who always told you to be kind will be the first to accuse you of being selfish. They don't hate that you've changed. They hate that they can no longer control you. And this is why most people never escape. They're so afraid of losing love, losing approval, losing their place in the tribe, that they never step off the hamster wheel of being good. They stay stuck. They keep sacrificing. They keep forgiving. They keep turning the other cheek long after both sides of their face are bruised and bloody. And the world applauds them right up until it forgets them. Because goodness is not remembered. Goodness is expected. And when you fail to deliver it, you are replaced. Machiavelli's warning was simple but brutal. If you want to survive, if you want to have power, you cannot be endlessly available. You cannot be endlessly merciful. You cannot be endlessly forgiving. You must create distance. You must create uncertainty. People must not know what you will do next. The moment they can predict you, they can control you. And if you think this sounds manipulative, ask yourself, has the world not already been manipulating you your entire life? Every time someone played on your guilt to get you to do what they wanted. Every time someone said, I thought you were better than this, just to pressure you into giving more. Every time someone used your own sense of goodness as a weapon against you. You've been manipulated for years, maybe decades, by people who figured out that all they had to do was push the right emotional buttons to get you to bend. And every time you bent, they learned they could push harder next time. This is why Machiavelli doesn't just teach power, he teaches survival. He teaches how to stop being the puppet and start being the one who holds the strings. You have to understand that power is not about being evil. Power is about freedom. Freedom from being used. Freedom from being predictable. Freedom from being the person everyone takes for granted. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. If you are always there, if you are always available, if you are always the one people can count on, they will stop valuing you. People do not value what they do not fear losing. They value what they have to earn. They value what they have to fight for. This is why the moment you pull away, the moment you go silent, the moment you stop giving, suddenly everyone panics. They text you, they call you, they ask what's wrong. They demand to know why you've changed. And it's not because they care about your well-being, it's because they care about their access to you. They're not worried about you. They're worried about losing the free supply of your energy, your kindness, your loyalty. This is why disappearing is such a powerful move. The moment you remove yourself, you find out who really values you and who just values what you do for them. And that realization is both devastating and liberating. But here's where most people stop. They taste a little bit of power. They set a boundary or two. They say no once or twice, and then they feel guilty. The guilt eats them alive, and they go back to being who they were before. as if nothing happened. And all that does is teach the people around them that their rebellion was just a phase, that they can be pushed back into line with enough pressure, that they were never truly serious about changing. If you want to stop being destroyed by your own goodness, you have to go further than most people are willing to go. You have to hold the line when the pressure comes. You have to endure the guilt. You have to resist the temptation to go back to being liked, because power is not given, it is taken, and the taking feels violent, even if all you're doing is taking back control of your own life. But you must understand, the first time you choose yourself over others, you will be called selfish. The first time you stop forgiving someone who hurt you, you will be called cold. The first time you refuse to sacrifice for someone who has never sacrificed for you, you will be called cruel. And you must learn to smile when they say it, because it means you are no longer easy to use. Machiavelli would tell you that the ultimate test of strength is whether you can live with being misunderstood, whether you can endure being hated in order to protect what matters. He wrote that a ruler must be willing to be feared if being loved would put the state in danger. Apply that to your life. You must be willing to lose people if keeping them means losing yourself. And here is the most painful part. You will lose people. You will lose the ones who only loved you for your goodness. You will lose the ones who were only there because of what you gave them. You will lose the ones who cannot handle the fact that you now have boundaries. And yes, it will hurt. You will grieve. You will wonder if you made the right choice. But something incredible happens after the grief passes. You start to attract people who respect you. People who value you not just for what you give, but for who you are. People who don't leave the moment you say no. People who see your strength as something to admire, not something to exploit. And that is when you realize that all the pain was worth it. But you must be warned. This transformation will cost you everything you thought you knew about yourself. You will have to dismantle the identity you built on being the good one. You will have to strip away the part of you that needs to be liked, that needs to be praised, that needs to be told you are a good person. You will have to face the dark truth that the person you thought you were, the endlessly giving, endlessly forgiving, endlessly available person, was never really you. It was the version of you that other people trained you to be so they could get what they wanted. The real you is waiting underneath, sharper, stronger, harder than you think. And when that version of you finally steps into the light, the world will never see you the same way again. Some will fear you, some will hate you, but the ones who remain, they will respect you, and that respect is worth more than all the empty praise in the world. So here is the challenge. Are you willing to stop being destroyed by your own goodness? Are you willing to stop being the one who always bends, who always breaks, who always puts themselves last? Are you willing to face the discomfort, the guilt, the backlash that comes from putting yourself first? Because if you are about to discover a freedom you have never felt before. The freedom of not caring what people think. The freedom of not being controlled by guilt. The freedom of knowing that you can walk away from anyone, anywhere, anytime, and still be whole. That is real power. That is what Machiavelli was trying to give you, not cruelty, not tyranny, but the ability to stand on your own 2 feet without being crushed by the weight of everyone else's expectations. And if you dare to take that step, everything changes. You stop begging for respect and start commanding it. You stop waiting to be chosen and start choosing. You stop living as prey and start living as a predator, not in the sense of harming others, but in the sense of no longer being hunted. And maybe that scares you. Good, it should. Power is supposed to scare you a little. Because the moment you realize you can take control of your life, you also realize you have no one left to blame when you don't. No more excuses. No more pointing fingers. No more hiding behind being the good person. It's all on you now. And if you accept that, if you embrace that, then you are ready to step into a life most people will never experience. A life where you are respected. A life where you are free. A life where your goodness is not a weakness, but a weapon, used carefully, strategically, when it serves you. And once you taste that, you will never go back. You will never again let your own goodness be the thing that destroys you. You will never again confuse being liked with being powerful. And you will never again be fooled into thinking that turning the other cheek is the only option. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stop turning your cheek and start turning the entire game in your favor.